Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I hope that you are having a great day. I am obviously here by myself, and that's good as I usually am. Right now, Donovan will be back with us on Sunday, so y'all please stay tuned for that. I should also say that the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like I said, big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation, and I love and appreciate every last one of you dearly. Also like to say a big giant thank you to my moderators as you all hold down the comment section and make sure everything is running just smoothly. Y'all usually get to block people before I do, but just know that y'all know who to block and who not to block at this point in time. Now, if they're coming in and, they're just kind of being a nuisance, leave them, because they probably need to learn something. But if they in here calling names and doing too much, yeah, get them gone, right? So anyway, we're going to be having a brief conversation as, I got a lot of things going on. You guys know that I am getting ready, and I get ready a lot really early to go to Columbus, Ohio next weekend. Myself, along with the African Diaspora News Channel, will be there. We're going to be, I guess, having the community come out and ask us questions and just having a really good, rich conversation. So if you are in Columbus, Ohio on a Memorial Day weekend, the 23rd through the 25th. Now, we'll actually be there on the 24th, which is a Saturday at 3 o'clock. So if you're in the area, purchase your tickets at ohioblackexpo.com, ohioblackexpo.com. Come out and say hello. And you get to talk to us in real time and all that other stuff. So I won't be here long today because I'm getting ready for that. Anyway, let me stop running my mouth. We are going to be talking about Black Americans being mad about non-Black Americans portraying actors, or, icons, rather, Black American icons. And I'm going to focus on that of Damson Idris, if you will. He's going to be playing that of the late, great jazz icon, Myles Davis. I was on Twitter right before I came on here, and I saw that, people are, I guess, in an uproar because of it. And I'm like, really? So I want to have a conversation with y'all and basically ask y'all the question, do you care? So I'm going to get into that in just a second. Let's see who's on here. And LaShonda, how you doing? Yes, you're the first one. Hold on. Let me celebrate with you. Woohoo! You are the first one on. Yes, Sagittarius Goddess, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Rain, where have you been? I know you be working. You're very busy, but I'm glad to see you here. And Yanni, same thing. Long time no see. Hope you're well. Brother Samuel, hope that you are having a fabulous day as well. So we'll give people just a little bit more time to come on, and then I'm going to get into it, because I know that people will be like, well, what we talking about? We're talking about a lot of stuff. Y'all know we stay on one topic, and then we go off to a whole lot of other things. Of course, you guys know, not that you care, I really don't care much, but Sean Combs, also known as P. Diddy, is still on trial. It's the first week that's ending. Sounds like a lot of things have dropped that has a lot of people like really worried. So if y'all want to talk about that a little bit, we can. And anything else that may be going on, I'm going to try to be on here about a half an hour or so, because I'm hungry. I haven't eaten either. Sky Dancer, how you doing? Just another woman. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. David White, what's going on? Says we have a bigger ish to worry about. I mean, yeah, we do. Like what? Tell me what you would rather worry about than this right now, if you don't mind me asking you. Clay, how you doing? Says that's kind of irritating. Plenty of FBA actors to play these parts. Okay. And to David's point, yeah, there's a lot of things we could talk about, and trust me, I talk about them all. I just got through filming some videos, so I talk about a whole lot of things. If y'all want to get into some of the more serious stuff, you could go to the African Diaspora News Channel, or you could go to Emancipation Media. I'm on both of those, and on my own channel, I talk about a lot of serious things. But you know what? Imagine this with me, if you will. What do directors do? They do that, I think. Imagine this. Imagine every day, all day, you eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Every day, all day, every day, all day, peanut butter and jelly, peanut butter and jelly. Aren't you going to get a little bit bored of that? Might you want to maybe, I don't know, tuna sandwich if that's your thing? A hamburger? Might you want something else to kind of break up the monotony? Well, that's me. Sometimes I get bored, not that it's boring talking about the things that we go through. That's a little bit more on the serious side. But for me, like, I have to break it up a little bit. Otherwise, I'd be like, hey, this happened. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's got to be fun for me too. Yes, variety, Clay, variety. Yes. Anyway, let's see who else is on here before I get into it. Two Roll, how you doing? Says I used to be annoyed about it. I'm over it now. Have at it. There you go. Nubian Black, how you doing? Says I think we should be allies in the diaspora. Division is a white supremacist tool. Hadasha, I hope I said that right. How you doing? Says Palm folks want to take us out of the earth. Why is this an issue? I don't know. Apparently, it's not the first time it's been an issue, right? Conceited, how you doing? Says, well, we are also concerned that mixed whites get all the black roles portraying black life, but have a whole white family, while true blacks have to watch from Skid Row. Okay. All right. So Sky Dancer says the price of eggs. I don't eat eggs. Y'all eat eggs. What? Yeah, you'll get constipated, Brother Sam. You eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches all the time. Brother Don, how you doing? My triple OG moderator, how you doing? And LaShawna, yeah, you got to keep it interesting, right? You know. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So, as I said, I was on Twitter because I'll be looking for content, right? And I saw that FBA, right? That's FBA, Crowd Foundation of Black Americans. I call myself a Black American. Kind of mad. I scrolled down and I saw a few people talking about it. So basically what it is Damson Idris, who is 33 years old. I guess he's from the UK. He's got Nigerian roots, from what I understand, is going to be portraying that of Myles Davis. I don't need to tell y'all about Myles Davis, do I? But anyway, he was a jazz icon. Of course, he's gone on now. But you cannot talk about jazz, right? The jazz scene in America and abroad without bringing up Myles Davis, right? So anyway, I would consider to be a true Black American icon, right? Now, Damson Idris is going to portray him in a movie that's set in Paris, because again, Myles Davis traveled a lot, right? And then spent a lot of time in Paris, Europe, I guess. And it's about a love story, and it's titled Miles and Juliet. Now, it's off a real character, Juliet Greco, who was I guess an actress and a singer from Paris, right? So they were in a little small relationship. They said it was, one that was very intimate and deep, although it doesn't sound like it lasted long. Now, it is set in 1949 when Myles Davis was 22 years old, right? So he's very young, and she was too. They had, again, a brief affair. And the director, what's his name? Bill Pollard, I think that's how you say it, says it's really a story about falling in love, right? That's what it's about. And I guess maybe it's a playoff for Romeo and Juliet. I don't know, maybe not. But it's also said that the movie has the full support of Myles Davis's estate. So they're like, go ahead, you can do it. So his estate said, yes, you could do it, right? But again, some of the pushback that I've seen is, I'm sick and tired of it. Why do they always get other people, Black people from the other parts of the diaspora to play our Black American icons? Now, of course, we heard a lot of the backlash about Sinners because there was a Nigerian actress. I forget her name, but very beautiful, dark-skinned sister that played Annie, I think her name was, in a movie. And then they had an issue with the lights. Well, I don't know, Haley, somebody, she's white, I think, but she's got some Black, ancestry, if you will. And her real life persona is, I guess, matches that what she played in Sinners, right? She says, yeah, my grandfather, my mom, somebody's grandfather was Black or something like that. So anyway, people got mad about that. Of course, we heard people get mad about Cynthia Erivo. I think she played Aretha Franklin, and somebody played Harriet Tubman. And they, were from the UK or not from America, right? So there's a lot of Black Americans that are lamenting about that. Like, we're sick and tired of them doing that. So I just kind of want to see what you guys say. Do you care? And then I'm going to throw this out. And I'm not, I ain't scared. I'm just, concerned a little bit. My question is, why don't Black Americans, FBA, create our own studios. And then we can have full autonomy over who actually plays our icons. Oh, and I want to show y'all a picture of Juliet Greco. Y'all want to see what she looks like? Hey, Brother Jonell, long time no see. Brother Reggie, what's going on with you? Y'all want to see what she looks like? She's a white woman. Now, y'all know Miles Davis dabbled in a little snow every once and again. You know what I mean? So I thought y'all should see what she looked like, right? Again, this movie is set in 1949 with Miles Davis and Juliet Greco. So there you go. There she is. She's a white woman. I'm gonna leave her up there for a couple of more seconds so that y'all can, for context, understand who he was dealing with, right? Okay, I think y'all eyeballed her enough. Beast by Dizzy, how you doing? So I'm gonna remove her. Okay. Do y'all care? Do you not care? I just want to ask you guys your opinion. So let's see who else came on here. Price of eggs. Brother Reggie says, you know what? You brought up something when you brought up Don Cheadle. I'm going to bring up too, but you say Don Cheadle already played Miles Davis. Yes, he did. But Don Cheadle played in Hotel Rwanda. Y'all remember about the movie about Rwanda when they were having talking about the Rwandan genocide? Then Don Cheadle played somebody from the motherland. I think Denzel Washington played Cry Freedom. Not Steve. Was it about Steve Biko? One of them, somebody from the motherland, right? So we've seen our people play other people. I was about to do something so disrespectful. Forrest Whitaker, that I went like that because I was trying to think of his name. That was rude. I didn't, sorry. But Forrest Whitaker, didn't he play Idi Amin? He ain't from America. So are we having the same, sentiments about our actors that go and play somebody else? I'm just asking. Don't hurt me. Anyway, Take, how you doing? He says, black actors working period, getting mad for nothing. On to the next. Okay. David, he says, I'm worried about the USA setting itself up to assassinate President Traore, Ibrahim Traore. Yeah. I think that's kind of been foiled. Because had it not been for like the internet and things like that, when they did Muammar Gaddafi, they might have got away with it because the Obama administration obviously was able to form a narrative that, he's a bad guy, he's harmful to his people and things like that. And they were able to do what they did because a lot of people just fell for the propaganda. But with the movement of the internet and things like that, people are like, nah, y'all not finna lie on Captain Traore. It's a lie, right? He's doing great things. He's not stealing the gold and doing things that are inhumane. Of course, we did see the general, I forget his name, having a conversation there in Washington saying, oh, I'll tell you one person that's, a problem, and that's Ibrahim Traore, basically saying that he's enriching himself, right? But I think they're going to have a hard time because now Russia, China, I think North Korea, they're all like, yo, what do you need from us, right? They're trading different weapons and security and things like that. So I think, he might be all right, hopefully. See, we talked about something serious. Bobby's channel, how you doing? Says white people don't get mad. English actors play white Americans all the time. That's a good point. That you make a good point. So I want to know, why are we getting mad at this, right? When I say we, I mean them. Fresh Air, how you doing? Says Black Americans need work too. Totally agree with you. Totally agree. So can we build our own studio and we can hire our own actors and actresses and portray our own people? I don't know. I'm just asking. And I don't know if that conversation is being had. Just another woman says, I think they do this intentionally. And what would be the intent, if you don't mind me asking? Aretha, how you doing? He says, yes, we have up and coming people who can bring real emotions to our icons' life. That is Black Americans' lived experience. We should already be asked. Yeah, I agree with that, But if we don't own the project, do we really have any say? And if we're not putting any money in the project, do we really have any say so? I'm just asking questions. Negroes, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And then just another woman says, I'm out. Anyone play him? Okay. Jesse, how you doing? Brother Reggie says Don Cheadle also play. Yeah, there you go. There you go. African brother in Hotel Rwanda. I think it's a pretty silly argument just to keep people distracted. I'm just wondering too, because I see it a lot, and I just kind of wonder, like, what is this really about, you know? So y'all talking about Haley, whatever her name is, she got one drop. Well, you know, back then they said if you got one drop, you black, you know? Uh, yeah, I saw that, Brother Reggie. We was kind of thinking alike. Dave, what's going on? She says King of Scotland. Okay, so that's what it was. Yeah. His name just skipped my mind. Forrest Whitaker. Yeah, King of Scotland. So I'm just asking. Steele, what's going on with you? Brother Jonell says that part, Queen. It always goes back to God bless the child that makes their own movies. All this black talent, and we complain about what others are doing when we won't pull our resources and talent and empower ourselves. We cry. Well, cry, baby, is what you're saying. Yeah, you know, and Tyler Perry, I think he's Black American, right? Why not put pressure on him to say, okay, knock off this silliness that you got going on? You know, make some real good movies about Black Americans that we could be proud of, you know, not this filth that you pump out, right? I don't know. And like you said, with all the Black American actors and actresses, they could build a studio and, you know, hire Black American actors. And I agree, Black American actors should act. But if we have the money, when I say we, I mean them, and the resources, well, what's holding us back, right? Because we pool money to do a lot of other things, but want to cry and complain about things that are out of our control. You know what I mean? I'm just asking. Negro says, yeah, didn't Terrence Howard and Jennifer Hudson play Nelson? Come on now. Nelson and Winnie Mandela. They sure did. They sure did. Terrence Howard, I didn't know. He's a lighter brother than Nelson, I would say. Brother Damon, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Fresh Air said there's a difference because we FBA's B1 ADOS, the world will watch. That's true. But in all fairness, I watched those movies, Hotel Rwanda. I didn't see the Nelson Mandela one with J Hud and them. But I think I've seen my fair share of movies with Black American actors and actresses portraying other people. I like Damson Idris. I like him. I think he's a sharp young man. Oh, did y'all see that he took some of the brothers to task the other day on his Instagram? And I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, I'm sick and tired of y'all dogging Black women all the time and talking crap about Black women. He says it needs to stop. So I saw him say that. Let's see. Bobby Channel says so many Black Americans played Nelson Mandela. Don Cheadle played Idi Amin. He says Ryan Coogler wants to do a Mansa Musa movie. Should he choose the best actor, a Black American actor or an African? I think that's a great question because I think a lot of people have been waiting for the Mansa Musa movie, right? I know that I have been. You know, they said even, I guess, maybe up until recently, if he was still alive today, he'd be the wealthiest man in the world, right? From a whole host of resources, salt, gold, you name it, right? He had money. And I think everybody would be interested in seeing that. So who should play him? I'm just asking. Bobby Wobby, did I say hello to you? If I did not, hello. He says Forrest Whitaker played that. Yeah, he did. You know? And Cobra, how you doing? Says Denzel Washington, David Washington can play that role. Miles Davis, yeah. You know who I really think could play him? He might be a little too old now. Eddie, his last name just skipped my mind. Griffin, Eddie Griffin. I think he probably could play him. And then if they were going to do it again, yeah, Don Cheadle, but it sounds like he played him already, so I don't know. But again, they said it when he was 22 years old. This is the era that they're exploring, so maybe those guys are a little bit too old. You know what I mean? Diane, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let me skip down a little bit. David, he says, I get mad when sisters wear weaves, wigs, fake eyelashes, and rubber booties. Well, stay away from those women. By all means, don't be with women you don't want to be with, right? Be with a woman that's more natural. A woman who's not doing all that. There's plenty of women who don't do that. Always date your preference, I would say. Unless she still says FBAs get passed over because, like Kat said, we keep virgin backsides. I mean, that could be true as well. Of course, he's alluding that most, or a lot of men, I would say, that go to Hollywood, they have to do something strange for the change. And y'all can use your imagination with that. Raven, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. It says, what I never want to see is a black guy play James Bond because black people will have a fit if a white person plays Shaft. Yeah, and they were talking about Damson, Idris Elba, rather, playing James Bond, but I guess that never happened. I wouldn't hate it, I would love to see a black male 007. I wouldn't be against that. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to see anybody white playing Shaft, because with Shaft, they'd have to do a lot of cosplaying, but Idris is already British, right? So he's kind of halfway there, I guess. But for a white man to be playing Shaft, he'd be having to do a lot of slang, and I guess I don't know, let's see. Clifton, how you doing? It says FBA's had our own movies and movie studios during segregation. The late Oscar Machal comes to mind. Absolutely. But, that was what, in the 1920s, so I guess we have some now. So I don't know, and do some of the people who black people that have studios and production companies, do they hire people from overseas? I don't know. I'm not really steeped into the movies like that. Negro says, I've been wanting this Black America. He says, I've been wanting this Black America needs our own version of Bollywood and Nollywood. We can make a lot of money in films. We have the best stars and great original ideas, not just the Tyler Perry kind. Absolutely. And some people argue, well, the blaxploitation era, but it wasn't really, because we know who was at the helm of that, right? A lot of those studios, they pump those movies out. And I'm not going to lie to kick it. I love blaxploitation movies. It's one of my favorite genres because they're not something you can really take too seriously, but they were serious. Yanni says, maybe we need to boycott the movie. Yeah. And that's happened before, right? People boycotted the movie. Now, I love Miles Davis, so I would probably go see it. And I like Damson Idris, so I would probably go see it. I'm not really that invested in that kind of thing, because regardless if a Black American plays it or somebody from overseas plays Miles Davis, I ain't going to get no money from it. Now, if I was going to get a check from depending on who played it, then yeah, I might be a little bit more riled up, but not necessarily. But I can respect it, though. David says, I hate when brothers be killing each other. Same. Victor, how you doing? Says, you can just say Black Americans mad and then add anything after that and still be correct. You know what? You better quit. Beverly White, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Allie, what's going on with you? He says, but it's this way. If others are doing American Black icons, they often don't have the DNA to tell the story. Okay, I can dig it. Let's see. Brother Damon says, Che Nkrumah. Okay. Brother Reggie says Tyler Perry would have the Miles Davis actor. Miles Davis actor in a fat suit, dress, or bad wig, right? Or have him being, we don't want that. Soto, how you doing? And where have you been? Glad to see you back. It says, I see both sides of the argument, but Will Smith did play an African in that football helmet movie. Gotta go at work. Okay, well, don't get in trouble. And what movie was that, if you don't mind me asking? Magneto, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Sharon, what's going on with you? Big Ward, the genius too. How you doing? Says, hey, Demetra. I'm Big Ward, the genius. Says I'm a colored conservative for Trump. Okay. I'm so happy to see colored folk like you support Trump. I doubt very seriously that you were colored. I think you probably cosplaying, but I will tell you, better tread lightly before you get blocked. That's all I'm going to say. And nowhere on earth will you ever be able to say that I am a Trump supporter. Not a Kamala supporter, not necessarily a supporter of the Democrats, but yeah. But come on here with that colored mess one more time and you're going to get blocked. Anyway, Let's see, Damon, you say have Dave Chappelle play Black Trump, or they will be upset. Brother Janelle says, we don't put our money where our mouth is, complain when others invest in the use of our mouths and profit the colonizer doing what they do. But we don't even strive to fund our own revolt, invest in Black production, talent. None is stopping us, but our own slave mindedness decolonized fully. Revelation 18:4, consider the time 13, which means separate, be ye separate, right? Absolutely. Clifton says the late Melvin Van Peebles said the blueprint to bring back the ownership of Black films. I'm sorry, he said laid the blueprint to bring back the ownership of Black films. But some FBAs got both lazy in putting our money into these independent projects in the 21st century. Yes, Melvin Van Peebles was one of the greatest to ever do it. Filmmakers, obviously early on, right? Of course, he has a son. Mark, what's his son name? Marvin. I think. Anyway, let's see. Callus, I hope I said that right. How you doing? And Brother Jonell says Don Cheadle did play Miles Davis and did an excellent job. Yeah, so I guess they want to set this, they want to put it with a white woman. Let me put her back up here. They want to set this in 1949 when Miles Davis and her, Juliet Greco, were in a short, I guess, hot love affair. So y'all can do with that storyline what you will. So in hindsight, or thinking about it again, yeah, I probably wouldn't go see it because we know that he loved playing the snow. But what exactly are they going to do with this movie? Set him with having a whirlwind affair with a white woman in Paris. I probably wouldn't spend money to see that after all, now that I think about it. So yeah. Let's see. Fresh Air says Black American inventors movie like The Real McCoy. Okay, so you'd rather see people movies like that about Elijah McCoy. Okay. Brother Reddy says a rubber booty is diabolical. Yeah, I don't know where rubber booties be at, but I don't know. Tony, how you doing? Says doesn't matter who else FBA's play because we're in our own land. Okay, got you. Def, how you doing? Says excellent commentary. Thank you. Ali says also when you listen to music, you can tell the difference. There's a different spirituality comes to mind. Yeah, I could dig it. I see what you're saying because I remember was it Cynthia Erivo? I don't know, was it the Oscars, the Grammys, or something? I don't know what it was. They were singing a tribute to, was it Stevie Wonder? I don't remember who it was. She has a great voice. Don't get me wrong. She can sing, but I agree with you. It seems like that was missing, right? So I agree with you. I'm going to take her down. Mars Dream, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Negro says Idris is perfect because he's actually British, but they rather the lighter mix Black actors. So yeah, we have seen, I can't think of his name. He played Malcolm X, light-skinned brother with the like gray eyes. I can't think of his name, but he's played in a couple movies. That one where he was getting some get back on the police. I can't think of the name of the movie, but that was pretty good. Let's see. Lance, how you doing? Says Idris Elba claims he doesn't want to be viewed as a Black actor. Yeah, I think I saw that. I think he was just maybe saying he wants to be seen as an actor. I don't know. Ali says, when I listen to music, I have to feel the vibration, higher frequency. Okay, got you. Matt, how you doing? Says now they want to play Black. First, they played American Indians, then Latino. That is true. So when you say they, you're talking about white people. They portrayed these other people. I don't know. I just, to me, I find this conversation kind of weird. I don't know why. I just do. Now I can understand if it was our own movie theater production companies and we're doing that kind of stuff, then yeah, you should probably give that work to Black American actors first, but we don't own the company. I don't even know where this dude is from. And it's Mick Jagger. So y'all know he's from the UK, right? Mick Jagger is also a co-producer. Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones. He's also a co-producer of the movie. So probably not even over here, right? Again, that was set in Paris, France in 1949. The white woman, Juliet, she's French. She's dead now. And Miles Davis was over there, so I don't know. Ali says delineation, okay. And Jesse says a white person playing Shaft would be like old boy who played in Tropic Thunder. There you go. Cosplaying. There you go. Katrina, how you doing? Says I don't spend money on films with Africans portraying American icons. It's in international stuff. I mean, I'm not stuff, snub. Yeah, I can see it that way. Let's see who else is on here. All right, Clifton, I'm glad you're doing all right. And JJ Mars, how you doing? Says Samuel Jackson said non-FBA actors are very cheap to hire. That's why they get hired. There you go. You know, studios want to save a coin, right? So there you go. Brother Reggie says Idris Elba played Stringer Bell in The Wire. Yes, you know, it's funny because I was listening to The Breakfast Club earlier, and I didn't really watch The Wire. My daughter did, and they were talking about it. And he says, and folks still think Idris is from Baltimore. Yeah, wasn't that like one of his first roles? If you never told me he was from wasn't from Baltimore, I would have never known, right? Key 5, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Says hello, getting new glasses right now, but I'm listening. All right, yeah, your ears work, right? Okay, I don't know who this person is, but they on I can't block them. They on Facebook. It's a spam, no doubt. I've made it to spam land. Brother Don says 007 is position. It says is position, so even position rather. So even a woman could feel it. Shaft was a person, not the same. Yeah, there was a black, I can't think her name, a black actress from the UK who was considered to be a 007. I can't remember her name, but it was like one of the last installments of the James Bond movie. She actually was considered to be the first woman in black woman 007. So you're right. It's actually a position like a police officer or something like that, right? Detective or whatever it is. So you're right. Yeah, you're right, Brother Reggie. I mean, not Brother Reggie. Magnetter. I'm gonna block him. We keep on. I ain't seen him on here since. Finest girls, rather. He says colored means mixed. In South Africa, it means mixed. Over here, it don't mean mixed. Colored was something that them folks called us, you know, to degrade us. So it has different meanings. So I understand in South Africa, I guess maybe other places on the continent, that they called each other colored. They said if your hair is wavy, not necessarily that you're light skinned, but I did hear the mixed version as well. But it could also mean if you have wavy hair, but that's not the term we use here. Hey, Tracy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. See, cool, what's going on with you? Mario Van Peebles. What did I say? Marvin? Mario. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's see. T. Austin, how you doing? Yeah, I jacked his name up. My apologies. Michelle, how you doing? Says good evening, everyone. I do not like the disrespect toward black women in black exploitation movies. We need to bring back respect for black women. Oh yeah, that's why they called it black exploitation, right? There was a lot of exploitation in there. Yeah, you know, I watch them because I like vintage movies and things like that, and I think black exploitation counts. But I've always been a fan of it. But yeah, there's a lot of exploitation of black women now too. You know, so I agree it needs to go. Meska, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Oh Lord. Reggie, he says there's no secret. Miles sniffed blow and played in the snow. I wasn't saying that about your comment. Finest girls, says why? What's wrong with interracial dating? I don't have time to even go into any of that. You date who you want to date. You can date Kermit the Frog, his daddy and his granddaddy for all I care. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Nubian King, how you doing? Says let's not forget that Amos and Andy were played by pale males. That is true. Therefore, nothing has changed with these foreigners playing black roles. When are we going to get our own to stop playing that part, right? Tracy says, I can't stand Cynthia Erivo or however you spell it, because, yeah, you jacked it up. Oh, the amazing Austin, how you doing? Michael Ely. No, not Michael Ely. Deanna. What's that Tiana Taylor's boyfriend's name? Aaron Pierre. Yeah, Aaron Pierre. He's from the UK. He's the one that played Malcolm X and something on Netflix or something like that. In that one movie when he was getting some get back on the police. HGLC, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Leanne, what's going on with you? Says definitely will not spend my money on Miles Davis movie. Date who you want, but I won't support movies that promote that. There you go. You know, to me, that's kind of the better argument, right? Because out of all the things that Miles Davis, I mean, he was married to Cicely Tyson when he died, right? Why not come from that angle? But again, you got to consider who's producing it. But it's like out of all the things that he's done in his life, you want to portray that, which we kind of see that as a reoccurring theme, you know, with the interracial thing. So yeah, I agree with you. Venus, how you doing? Says, I like this topic. I feel that African Americans, said AA, I think that's what you meant, aren't getting premium black roles like before. They are slowly being replaced in a way. Yeah. But it's even more so of a reminder that we need to do our own thing, right? All of us that feel really bothered by them having other people outside of Black Americans play our icons, we need to pull our money together and say, hey, let's build a studio. Let's, you know, support our own projects and things like that. That's where you really put your money where your mouth is, you know? So, yeah. You stupid, Brother Reggie. Talk about Mick Jagger's 194 years old and his girlfriend or his wife or whoever she is, I think she like 30, 40, something like that. So she's young as well. He's like, I'm going to keep trading them until I die. HGLC, he says British actors can mimic American accents, but it's very difficult for Americans to do an authentic UK actor. Yeah, I'd imagine. So Lance say they keep pushing that gargoyle. Damn. That gargoyle Cynthia Erivo on us. She butchered fantasy. That's what it was. Earth, Wind, and Fire on the Grammy tribute. Yeah. Yeah, she got a great voice, but it was just kind of, it wasn't that, you know. Okay, so let me see. Venus, she said LaShawn Lynch. I don't know who that is. Let's see. Okay, apostrophe. How you doing? He says the eyes are useless if the mind is blind. Say it one more time for those in the back. Clay says, side note, the best documentary ever, Malcolm X, Make It Plain. So that's a documentary called Malcolm X, Make It Plain. Okay. I don't know if I've seen it or not. There's a copious amount of them, right? Sideways Burnouts. How you doing? It says it's a point too many UK, Canadian, Australians, and New Zealand actors taking our jobs. Okay. But can they really be our jobs if we don't own the means to write the check? I just want to know. Clifton says, it says it was Robert Downey Jr. that played, yes, the Black Man in Tropic Thunder. And Dr. Claude Anderson has been saying for years about owning and controlling FBA's, IPs, copyrights, and trademarks. Yeah. When are we going to learn? Because as Brother Jonell said, we can't keep crying about it if we don't own it. You know, at some point in time, we got to say, okay, bet. Here's a couple bucks. Let's put it toward this project so we can, you know, have our iconic figures portrayed by people who are more like them, right? Wraith, how you doing? He says, I don't care. I only care when they play our roles and then talk down to us. Yeah, now that's problematic right there. When you talking smack and then you want to play one of our icons and then say, hey, come out and see me. It's like, no, I will not. Especially if you are disrespectful, you know, because it's more than likely going to be us to go see it. But you can't disrespect us and then expect for us to go spend our money so you can obviously, you know, get a great paycheck. And no, that's not how that works. You need to show some respect when you're playing our icons. You need to show some respect to us. Because the Cynthia Erivo, she got in a lot of trouble for that because they dug up her old tweets, right? Where she was calling those names that weren't so nice and things like that. And, you know, of course, I guess by now she's tried to back up off of it or whatever. So I don't know. Herschel, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Willie Walton, how you doing? Since FBAs don't get go see it, we need to make a stand against this cosplaying. Yeah, you know, and at the end of the day, it's your prerogative to do what you will with your money. Like I said, I thought about going to see it because I like Miles Davis, but now that I think about the standpoint that they're taking it from, him being in an interracial relationship with a white woman, I wouldn't want to sit in a movie and see that because I think Miles Davis obviously was so dynamic. There's so many other stories you could tell, but we can't tell them how to tell that story, you know, for whatever reason, they think it was a great one to be told. Not sure why, but I guess. Finest Girl says, but why not tell all parts of his story? I mean, they could tell whatever they want, but you can't make people go see it. You know, again, as I said, his family is all right with it. They co-sign, say, yeah, please, make the story. So they don't have a problem with it. I don't necessarily have a problem with it because it ain't my money, So, um, so let's see. Apostrophe says only fools test the depths of a river with both feet. What? Are you okay? Clay says yes, it is 1994. So okay, talking about that's when the documentary came out. Herschel says looks like they are just trying to cash in off of the success of Sinners. I'm not going to support it. I saw it twice and I wanted to go see it 3 times. I love Sinners. I love Ryan Coogler. I love Michael B. Jordan. I love the project. I didn't have any complaints about it at all. I think it was perfect. The movie was perfect. And I know a lot of people took issue with it. And as I always say to y'all, how y'all forming an opinion off of somebody else's opinion that didn't go see the movie? Like, I don't know. I didn't have a problem with Sinners at all. And Ryan Coogler is a Black American. And he did his research and his studies when he made that movie. He dotted the I's and crossed all the T's, So, like I said, I would love to see it again. Lance says, folks forget Cynthia Erivo tweets bad mouthing Black Americans, so give her no support. Yeah, and a lot, and I think it's earned. I will say that I did go see Wicked. She played the witch in Wicked. There's other people in the movie. I like the movie. I thought it was a great movie. Gary Johnson, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. LaShondra says Sinners is still the movie of the year, in my opinion. Yeah, I'd be surprised if it doesn't clean up at the Oscars and all the other movie ceremonies. It's a great movie. I just love to see good movies. Oh, you know what else is good? Forever on Netflix. It's based off of a Judy Blume novel from like the 1970s. You guys, if you know about Judy Blume, but this particular novel was considered to be very controversial due to the content. It was, a lot of sexual nature, dealing with the coming of age type of thing. Well, they cast it with a Black cast. And her name was Mara, and I forget her last name, but she did Girlfriends and some other stuff. It's a really well put together series on Netflix. I watched the whole thing on Sunday, and I rarely do stuff like that. And yes, Brother Reggie, salute to all the moderators. Love and appreciate all of you. Super Patriot, how you doing? Marcellus, what's going on with you? Says, yep, the hidden white women attacks. Okay. See who says FBA didn't see the Harriet Tubman or Baz Reeves movie. Yeah. Because she was tripping, right? And then with the Harriet Tubman movie, it sounded like they made it just put in fictional characters, made it more so about, from what I understand, I didn't see it, some Black character that was fictional called Bigger Long or something. And they said that he was more horrifying. They made him that way anyway in the movie, more than the actual slave masters, right? Slave owners. So, yeah. Let's see. Denise, how you doing? Blessings to you as well. Yanni says, who's the actor again? Damson Idris. He is 33 years old and he played in Snowfall, which was a series based out of South Central Los Angeles. And he's playing in a new movie with Brad Pitt about some race car movie. And he's played in a whole host of other things. I like him. I think he's, well put together, upstanding. I haven't heard anything bad about him. Leanne says, exactly. They have no respect and I will not support any of them. Them folks definitely won't support them. That is true. Well, let's see. Gary says it's already a Miles Davis biopic played by Don Cheadle. Why make another? Because it's set. This one is set in 1949 when he was dating this woman here, Juliet Greco. So they're basing it off of that time period when he was 22. And I guess they had a brief love affair. And so they want to base the movie off of that. Let's see. Mara Akil. Thank you, finest girl. Yeah, Akil is her name. Mara Brock. I think it's Brock Akil or something like that. But thank you. Yes, Sinners was a great movie. Let's see. Okay. And Willie says cultural colonialism. Colonialism says more diaspora and Black actors are cosplaying as FBAs than there are FBAs playing Africans in movies about African historical or cultural figures. I mean, that may be true, but they're doing it nevertheless, right? They're kind of going back and forth. So, yeah. Marge says, what is the name of the Judy Blume movie? Forever on Netflix. It's called Forever. When I tell you, it is so well put together. And I love the series because oftentimes when people give, I'm going to take her down again. Oftentimes when people give us movies and series and things, it tends to be a little bit on a traumatic side. They call it trauma porn, right? They freak us out and, relive the past with, things from slavery and police brutality. And, I know for a while it got to a point where I didn't want to see certain movies that were about us because I'm like, I'm tired of being freaked out. I'm tired of leaving the movie or whatever it is, mad and angry. So this particular movie, and even what I would say with Sinners, it didn't freak you out, right? It wasn't traumatizing. But with Forever, it's just a set, it's a coming of age love story with teens and them kind of getting to know each other. Of course, they have their own little storylines and things like that, but it is based off of Forever, Judy Blume book, who's a white woman who has never, when I say never, allowed anybody to make any of her books over. Never until recently. She gave Mara permission to do it, probably because she felt like she would do it right now. Judy Blume, I think, is like 95 years old. So she's pretty old, right? But that book in the 70s caused a lot of uproar because people were like, basically, how dare you write these books like this, But again, it was about kids, teenagers, right? High schoolers exploring sexuality. And that's not an unheard of thing, right? But yeah, Mara, she did a great job with that series. It's on Netflix. I'm telling you, when you start watching it, you ain't gonna want to stop. So make sure you ain't got nothing to do. Yes, Forever is the name of it. Fresh Air said, make movies about Black American towns before the destruction. Yeah, I'd love to see that. But again, we saw Rosewood and RIP to John Singleton. Saw Rosewood, but it's traumatizing. I remember I went to see it with my mom and her friend. My mom's friend, she just kept getting up like, oh my God. She was like that demonstrative in the movie because it was kind of traumatizing. I understand the story needed to be told because we know what happened in a lot of those towns. But sometimes it is very hard to watch because it's triggering for us as Black Americans, even though we weren't there. But to hear about the horror and destruction that happened to our people, but to see it portrayed on screen, it is very traumatizing. So yeah. Clifton says non-USA actors playing FBA parts tells me that some FBAs are entitled. You could look at it that way as well. All right. Yeah, you guys watched the movie Forever. It's really good. Let's see. HDLC says Forrest Whitaker won an Oscar playing African Idi Amin. Yeah, he did. Willie says, but he didn't say black women should stop dragging black men 6 in one hand and a half, a dozen in another, no difference. Yeah, you're talking about Damson Idris where he made that tweet about saying basically, and I'm paraphrasing, stop talking bad about black women and things like that. Yeah, I think that argument could be made on both sides. And I don't know if you guys saw that Chris Brown, I don't know if you're a Chris Brown fan, but I am. He's been detained and arrested and detained and arrested, I guess, in London, and they're going to keep him. They said he's accused of getting in a fight 2013. Some guy accused him of hitting him over the head with a bottle, and they're going to keep him until his next hearing of June 13th. And he's out there to start a tour. I think that starts on the 8th of June. I don't know. But yeah, so they've detained him, and he's got to go through, I guess, a trial and all of that. So it's not looking good. Hopefully everything works out. But yeah, Venus, I hate trauma too. FBA Queen, how you doing? Says Don Cheadle should have played the role of Miles Davis. It sounds like he did before. Antoine, did I say hello to you? If not, hello. He says Long Beach rapper Vince Staples should have played the Franklin Sake character on Snowfall rather than Damson Idris. Yeah. Vince Staples, I guess he could have. Anybody from South Central LA could have played it, right? But I didn't even know that Damson Idris wasn't from LA until I knew, right? Because his accent and everything, right? And I didn't watch all of Snowfall, just watched a few episodes of it. Gary says that Whitney biopic was awful. No disrespect, but that foreign actress is nowhere close to Whitney's beauty. Yeah, I didn't see it. I wasn't interested in watching it because, like, who could really play Whitney and pull that off? Because Whitney was an entity unmatched by anybody. Ali says Hollywood feeds off of Black history. Okay. FBA Queen says Nasheed knows how to produce accurate documentaries so he can make biopic movies. Bam. That part. I'm just saying. Joanne, how you doing? Said it just goes to show you the callousness of white supremacists and their cohorts. Other Black nations, they see Blacks as Black, quote unquote, and not, and no individualism. It says, but the Most High sees differently with his people. Absolutely. Negro says Whitney was okay. Most biopics are hit and miss. Like Amy Winehouse, I refuse to watch because of the actress they chose. Yeah, I didn't watch the Amy Winehouse documentary either. I like Amy Winehouse. I was a fan of Amy Winehouse. I love her music. Of course, y'all know Amy Winehouse. She was from the UK as well, but she has soul, right? All Black band and all that other stuff. But yeah, tragedy. Her dying so young, right? Timothy, how you doing? Thank you so much. Love and appreciate you for that. It says we as FBA should inform the directors of the consequences of not hiring FBAs for parts as FBA icons. We should boycott their movies. Yeah, that's another way to go about it too. Say, hey, if you want us to see this movie, please consider picking someone that is more reflective of us, right? That's a good way to go about it because, yeah, I don't think any director or producer wants to spend a lot of money making these movies and nobody go see it, right? People tank the movie or whatever the case is. So I agree with you. That's another way to say, hey, you might want to think about it. So good point. Dr. Benjamin, how you doing? Says Blacks and Americans are notorious for being, okay, hypocrites. Says Morgan Freeman played Nelson Mandela. Africans didn't cry about it. Don Cheadle played Hotel Rwanda. Africans didn't cry about it. Will Smith and more. I totally agree. I was actually having a conversation with some people from the continent and about certain things that Black Americans were doing. Something about in Louisiana, the Zulu parade or something that they do out there. And I guess South Africans were upset about it. It was this whole thing on Twitter. I saw it, but I didn't get too much into it till I had a conversation. And they were mad that Black Americans from New Orleans were cosplaying, I guess, Zulus and said they had it wrong and things like that. And so I brought that up as far as, Black Americans playing their people, whatever the case is. And I said, well, y'all didn't seem to have a problem with it then, So I don't know, but I agree with you. Mara says, oh, that movie Rosewood pissed me off too. Yeah, it was hard to watch, right? HGLC says East Bayou is a good movie about the 1950s Southern Black folks. Yeah, I've seen it. The Compliment King, how you doing? Says we should be. Okay. LaShondra says, if Beale Street Could Talk was a good movie. Yes, that was a good movie. It really was. James Baldwin novel brought to life. Really good movie. I love that. Yes, I did. LaShondra says, I read that. I'm sorry. Super Patriot says, I love Forrest Whitaker. I do too. Star Child, how you doing? He says, these Africans work cheap and have no heart when they go play these roles. Boring at best. Okay. Magnetic says, this whole Black man versus Black woman stuff needs to end. Yeah, I try not to even get into it no more. It's very boring at this point. Brother Samuel says, all of us are brothers. Why be divided on what country the Black person is from? The bigger issue is who is writing the story and programming the people in some aspect of white supremacy. I totally agree. Now, I don't know what color Bill Polad is. I'd imagine maybe he's white. Mick Jagger is one of the producers of the movie, and we know he's very white, right? And they've been accused, they being the Rolling Stones, have been accused of appropriation sometime throughout their career, and their career is vast, right? Let's see. Let me skip down because I'm almost out of time. Tracy says, I still don't watch movies based on our trauma or movies pertaining to drug life. Yeah. And unfortunately, there's a lot of movies about drugs, right? It's like, okay, all right, already. We've seen enough, All right. Allie says, Hollywood seems to be shaking down all Black celebrities for money. Notice the pattern. Mm-hmm. I am. Yes, I grew up reading Judy Blume as well. Kay Cool, I hope I said that right. How you doing? Says not that long ago, Denzel Washington played. Yes, he say Mar Crennis and in Gladiator. And I saw Gladiator. I love the movie. I didn't like the kiss, but I liked the movie, right? But yeah, Denzel is not Roman. So there you go. He said, "Where's the uproar?" Al, how you doing? He says, "What's the popularity of Forever? Could you see it win some awards?" Yes, I could. Forever is just that good. It really is. Like I said, it is refreshing to see movies that are just like, okay, I can dig it, right? It was just well put together. Wasn't no trauma involved. It was just a really good love story that was just well put together. I won't give it away. Just really good. Denise says music and movie feeds off of people's energies. That is true. Jesse says, why Tariq got to do all the films? Don't we have another FBA film creators, directors, and producers? I totally agree with you. But somebody threw him in there, and he does make movies, right? So he probably wouldn't know how to do it faster. But yeah, Will Smith and Tyler Perry and all of them, they could do it. I don't know. So yeah. Ask how you doing. Says, I've been boycotting for over 10 years now. Woo. It's a long time. Yusuki Gum, I hope I said that right. How you doing? It says they might risk losing money if Hollywood keeps choosing non-Black Americans to play Black American roles. I agree with you. I agree. Gary Mack, how you doing? FBA Queen, thank you so much for that. That is a hell of a donation. Love and appreciate you for that. It says, I love your natural nature as FBA. It says, a down-to-earth little sister. If I had a daughter, I want her to be like you. Oh, well, thank you. I honestly take that as a compliment. Now, I don't know how much of your daughter I can be. Look, I'm 54. I might be more your sister. But thank you so much. I love and appreciate you. And I thank you for the compliment. Very humbling. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that y'all see that from me. I always tell people, if you meet me in person, this is who you're going to meet. You're not going to see, two different people like, damn, she don't be acting like that. Or, when she's online or whatever the case is, I am the same way, crazy, but nice. Yusuki Gum, I know I'm jacking your name up, but I'm sorry. He says, but Whoopi Goldberg, she played Serafina, the teacher from South Africa. True. So we could be here all day, right? Thinking of some of our people who played different roles. Red House Entertainment, how you doing? Says a lot of FBA actors got persecuted legally, leading to the rise of non-FBA actors from Cuba Gooding Jr. to Will Smith. It doesn't seem coincidental. Yeah, what's really going on, right? Totally. Yeah, if Bill Street could talk, Regina King. Yes. I've always liked Regina King. I even went and saw a taping of 227 when I was in high school. And I've always loved her. So yeah, she's pretty cool. I think she kind of got off the rails a little bit when she did that. What was the name of that movie she did with Sam Cooke, Malcolm X, and Jim Brown? I can't remember the name of the movie, but she kept throwing the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan under the bus. And I'm like, why is she doing that in this movie? She kept making it a focal point in the movie. And it's like, huh? Oh, Muhammad Ali was one of them. And it's like, why you keep bringing him up, And I'm going to leave it at that. But yeah, that's kind of where she lost me. It's like, why are you doing that? And I know why you're doing it. You're doing it for them folks, but man, you need to tread lightly, right? Gary says the Zulus got the celebration for FBA. Yeah, I didn't get into none of that at all because I saw it got really kind of nasty online. I just shook my head and kept scrolling. Black Lion Girl, how you doing? Says they did the same thing with the Tuskegee Airmen. They just had to include an interracial relationship. Yeah. Hey, Bakari, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Jersey Rick, how you doing? Long time no see. And I must skip down. I got a minute left. Earl, how you doing? Said that seems that's them Democrats rather in Hollywood calling themselves being spiteful to FBAs, but that's why their so-called Black movie failed. Yeah. And, Hollywood and Democrats, they go hand in hand, right? Brother Reddy says, damn, I thought that kissing scene was written in, but cut out the script. He says Zell was really kissing a man in the flicks of Denzel. So, okay, no. So I take that back. They weren't kissing, but he wanted to put it in, but I guess the directors took it out because he said, I don't know, they got scared, but he said it was an idea. Now, but if you think about the context of ancient Rome, they were like, it don't matter. Man, woman could get it, right? So I don't know if that's why they threw it in to try to make it real. But yeah, he was a homosexual, for lack of better words, in the movie. They wasn't doing nothing, but you know, he was like, he basically said something like, and I'm paraphrasing, but just depends on the time of or time of day. Basically saying he could be a woman or a man. That was kind of the line he said. And it was like, Denzel. Tracy says, Demetra, they weren't just mad at New Orleans. They blamed us all. Yeah, like I said, I just kept scrolling because I don't like to spend a lot of time on Twitter because Twitter it's a different place. You know what I mean? CNG, how you doing? Says, I think the younger generation of freemen, Black Americans or FBAs are doing some delineation thing. They think I think they are tired of Africans and Caribbeans denigrating them. Yeah, totally. And that needs to stop, right? I don't have a problem with delineation. I just have a problem with all the other, static that goes with it. Let's delineate, do what we need to do, and then we, keep it pushing. Cherry Pie, how you doing? Says American movies about American Black people should feature Black American actors. The Majora spirit is difficult to copy. Okay, got you. Troy, how you doing? A Night in Miami. That's the name of the doggone movie. Y'all, that's how y'all know I'm getting old. I walk in one room and I'm like, what did I come in here for? I literally have to walk out and do it again. So I'm like, oh, I came here to find my glasses. Because, I got to have my glasses on when I watch TV because my couch is a little distance from it. So, yeah. Anyway, Tracy, how you doing? Says, can get mad, but whomever has the money, come on now, is going to decide to cast accomplished, trained actors do a fine job. Give credit where credit is due. Yeah, there you go. Al says, Richard Pryor family won't allow Mike Epps to do the movie. Yeah, it sounds like so many people. I don't see Mike Epps as Richard Pryor. Do y'all? It seems like there's so many other people that could do Richard Pryor. Mike Epps, I don't know. He's kind of old now too. So are you going to do it from like beginning to end? Or are you going to do it at a certain time period? Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm not mad at that. I don't think. FBA Queen says X is poison. Yeah, it's so nasty. I mean, social media is nasty in general, but X, my God. People just be doing the most over there. I just go on there to look for stories and stuff. And then I don't spend too much time on there. Antoine says, I like Regina King in the cop series, Southland, when she played the LAPD detective. That was a good show. Yeah, I didn't see that. Herschel says, never been on X and I'm about to get off Facebook. Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm on social media really more so for work. It's not the way it used to be. You used to get on there and spend time with your friends and family. Now, not so much. C Penta, how you doing? Says, I do that all the time. You forget why you walk in the room. Is like, maybe it wasn't that important. Then you remember, right? Affectionate Earth, how you doing? Says, if South Africa is mad at Zulu parade, they should talk to the same leaders that knew about it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've seen the parade, but I didn't have any context as to why they were doing it until I looked it up. And then I was like, oh, okay. Brother Samuel says, I see the family business, quote unquote, giving a corrupted view of Muslims with, he says, bow ties. A student brought it to my attention. The family business, is that a movie or something? A series? I don't think I've seen it or heard of it. Brother Reggie says, I think Terrence Howard would be do a better job than Mike Epps. Yeah, but he's old too. No, I shouldn't say old, but he's older, right? Nyla, how you doing? Al says the foreign actors are taking the roles blacks aren't auditioning for or turning down. So you think they're not auditioning for, or maybe they're turning down? I couldn't imagine a black American actor would turn down Myles Davis. I can think of probably a whole lot of people who would love to do it. I'm just saying whoever does it better do it right. That's all I'm saying, So Herschel, you don't see Mike Epps as Richard Pryor either. Yeah, Buckhorse, how you doing? Oh, shucks, we're about to get out of here. I think I've acknowledged everybody on here. Star Child says I deleted X. Yeah, it is too evil. I would, but I need to find stories, but I don't spend time on her. And I say it's gum. He says, I'm not for Black Americans. He says, I'm not for Black American, but I can understand. But I think Hollywood, they're trying to make Black Americans hate non-Black Americans. I don't think it's necessarily Hollywood. I mean, maybe they have something to do with it. I just think there's a lot that's happened over the last couple of years. And I don't think anybody should hate anybody, but the delineation thing definitely needs to happen because everybody else delineates, right? And I think it really became a problem when Black Americans started to delineate because everybody else does it. Whether you're from Nigeria, Ethiopia, Somalia, Mexico, wherever in Asia, China, everybody delineates. But now Black Americans are starting to do it. Then people are like, why y'all want to do that? It's like, y'all do it. Y'all do it all the time and y'all don't think anything about it. But when we do it, it's like, oh, it's a problem. So I don't have a problem with it. I just, like I said, I try to stay out of the vitriol because that's just too toxic for me. Now, if we want to delineate and, do some great things, and I'm on board. FBA Queen says, I'm off Facebook, IG. Don't use X too much except for Red Joker. Is that a page on there, Red Joker? It sounds familiar. Let's see. Brother Reddy says, Demetra, I knew that a half an hour. Yeah, come on now. I can't be on here a half an hour. I'd be lying. And I'm not even a liar, but I guess maybe I am. Simply Beautiful, how you doing? Says, no, what's happening is Black Americans are sticking together for higher pay. The Africans are standing in solidarity as usual. There you go. Al says, the cast of The Wire was on the Breakfast Club. Yes, I heard it. He says, it was horrible because everyone, yep, you're right, was talking over each other. Yeah, I turned it a few times. I was like, they doing too much. Tracy says, Mike F. Corny and FBA Queen, you says the tethers and flares make us delineate with speed. Okay. So, and Kim Brown, I'll read your last comment because you were I haven't seen you. Says, yes, white people are going to use whatever tool they have to keep Blacks from around the world from becoming the one we are. Absolutely. So anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. I'm gonna get out of here so I could eat something. I'm very hungry. Been up all day. I'm working and I worked out. I'm wearing a weight vest now. A weight vest as I'm walking is 12 pounds. 12 pounds don't sound like a lot, but when you're walking, I did only 2 miles today. But when you're walking, it's like, ugh, man, that's kind of heavy, right? But I like the weight vest because I can feel it more in my quads and my abs and my derriere there. So I like the concept of a weight vest. Just can't do it when it's too hot. So anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. I will see y'all on Sunday with Donovan. In the meantime, you guys have a great weekend. Peace.